not in the vegetation, so they pretty much just make a little bit of scratch in the sand, and that's where they'll lay their eggs.
Everybody, I'm Miss Marcia with the St. Johns County Public Library System. Welcome to today's episode of Our Big Backyard. Have you ever noticed least terns at the beach, hovering and dipping to catch fish? Today we're going to take a closer look at this threatened species in Florida and meet two of the people who are working to protect them.
I'm Kailey. I am the seasonal St. Johns County anchor steward for Audubon Florida, which means I'm out here in the summer season working to coordinate volunteers for our sites, make sure everything is running smoothly, make sure the posted area stays protected. Birds start nesting mid-April, early May, which is when we get out here. Here in St. Johns County, we have 3 major nesting sites for Least Terns and Wilson's plovers that are posted off and look something like this one. Experiencing the courtship between least terns is something that's really, really cool. So you'll see oftentimes during the beginning of the season, the male will actually go to the water and grab a fish and he'll present it to the female like, hey, you know, I'm really interested, and that's pretty much where nesting kicks off. As the season goes, they'll make their nests. The nests, they sit on their eggs for about 20 to 25 days, usually around 21 or so we're expecting them to hatch. And in a couple of weeks, they'll leave the nest, start getting their own food, become flight capable. The parents will, feed them in the meantime, help them learn how to feed, which is also really interesting to experience. So part of the great thing about stewarding is being out here every step of the way and getting to experience the whole process of the least terns nesting. It's really, really cool to see it all happen, and you're there every step of the way. You get to watch the chicks, grow up, leave the nest. It's really, really cool. When I was a lot younger, I grew up around Amelia Island, so I got to witness these birds all throughout growing up, and my grandma was really interested in them. So she got me more into nature and birding, and from a young age I was always really interested in going birding, and I wanted to learn more about everything. And now that I am a student in college, I study coastal environmental science, but I still have that love for birding, which is why I love my job so much, and it's very, very awesome to get to work with people who are as passionate as I am about protecting the least terns and other imperiled species, which is a great thing to get out and do, and it's just a great thing to be a big part of. In Florida, the weather is a bit wishy-washy. We have some days that are bright and roasting outside, and some days where it's just raining the whole day. It's hurricane season. That has a big effect on the birds. For one, when it's a hot day, if the nesting area is disturbed, say a dog runs into it, the birds will all flush, which means they get up and they fly away from the nesting area. This can cause nest abandonment, where the terns are so frightened that they leave their nest behind, and the eggs are in danger of heat damage. Alternatively, hurricane season, harsh rains in the summer can have just as bad an impact on that, wherein they can wash over some of the nesting sites. It does cause damage sometimes. We were lucky this year with Elsa and the rain spells that we've been having. It didn't seem to have a big effect on our nesting this season, but it can play a big role. Erosion is another obstacle at some of our sites, where when it's like this, people struggle with not walking too close to the colony. That's another good reason that we sit out here, is we help people find ways around it instead of walking right up next to the dune. present an alternative option, explain why, hey, even though this nesting site is posted and you're not per se going inside of it, we want to stay as far away from it as possible to give the birds their space, because it can still flush them if you get too close. Here's another way that you could get around this without causing any issue. Another important issue that we encounter as stewards is dogs on the beaches. At most of our sites, dogs are required to be leashed, but there is one particular site where dogs are not allowed on the beach at all. A big part of the job is making sure that dogs stay safely away from the nesting site. At this particular beach, making sure that they don't enter, and then making sure that they are leashed on other beaches. That they are endangered in other parts of the U.S., but in the state of Florida, the least terns are threatened, which is why it's important that Audubon Florida, we have stewards working and volunteering out here doing some hard work, making sure that they have a safe place to nest. With both Audubon Florida and the parks, we have a whole corps of volunteers who are out at the beaches and the nesting sites stewarding, making sure that no disturbances are brought to the birds, making sure that everything goes smoothly, and to educate the public.
I'm Kathy Sweezy. I'm working right now with the National Park Service over at Fort Matanzas National Monument. I am a Natural Resource Management Assistant for the summer. I also help out over here with Audubon. We do a lot of bird surveys as well. So behind us we did have a nesting tern colony. I come out here and we survey and see how many nests we have, how many chicks we have. Basically anything that you can think of that's natural, we're helping out with that.
We had 18 nests in here this year, and we've had all of the chicks that we have from the season have fledged already. They're flight capable. You'll see them flying around. So here in Florida, least terns fly up from Central America and the Caribbean to nest and have their young here, raise them, and then they head back at the end of the season and will return the following season. There are parts of the U.S. where they do stay and they are endangered. However, in the state of Florida, they are threatened, which means they're imperiled. So their populations are decreasing, and we do need to continue efforts to protect them as much as we can.
Many people and organizations are working to protect least terns. Here are some ways we can all help. To learn more, check out books from your local library. Thank you for watching today's episode of Our Big Backyard. I'm Miss Marcia with the St. Johns County Public Library System. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.